Call this meeting to order. Ms. LeBeau, can you lead us in the pledge and moment of silence, please? Thank you. Madam Secretary, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. LeJeune?
Here.
Mr. Davidson?
Here.
Mr. Edmonds?
Here.
Ms. Strahan? Mr. LaChalais?
Here.
Mr. Bergeron?
Here.
Ms. LeBeau?
Here.
Ms. Mason?
Here.
And Mr. Hidalgo.
Here.
All board members are present.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to our superintendent for opening comments.
Board members and members of the public, yesterday we welcomed our principals back. We did an administrative day. Today they stayed at their schools and kind of just put some of those practices in place, and we will continue that on Friday and also Monday. So welcome back to all of our administrators. Staggered starts will begin on August 12th. You can view those different times of who's going to be where on the website. We will continue to stagger starts on the 13th and 14th, and then we will get everyone back together that following Monday. The call center is open for bus information. My Ride K-12 app has been launched. I'm sure all of you have seen that was something that KETC put out there. Again, this is something that will help that parents will know exactly where their kids are, and we're kind of launching that. We are going to be lowering the sensitivity as far as weapons detections. We have national standards that we actually go by, and it has been told to us that we have to be able to lower those different things, so we'll probably have to be adjusting some different things as far as entries are concerned, but we'll work with our staffs on that. Success as far as LEAP scores, I want to thank our teachers. I want to thank all of the support personnel. I want to thank the administrators, et cetera. The scores of our students in the top tier of the bracket, which is master and above, it looks as though that we have fared very well. Has been increases all over the board as far as student achievement is concerned. The superintendent advisory panel, there is still time for people to register for that, and we'll be making predictions on that. And then last but not least, Dr. Bofi, along with Miss Alyssa LeBlanc at Milton. Dr. Bofi is at the Career Center, and Miss Alyssa is at Milton. We will be going to New Orleans, and they are in there for the Principal and Teacher of the Year for the state. So again, congratulations to them. Board members, that is my comments.
Thank you. We're moving on to information items. Item 2.1, Facility Department Yearly Updates. Who would like to present? Is that?
I'm gonna start.
Oh, okay. Superintendent, thank you.
All right, before Josh is going to get up here, he's going to start. First, let me just start off again, and I'm speaking to everyone that is here and people that are in the audience and also at home. You know, one of the main focuses that I've actually made clear to all of our board members along with the public is that there are two things that we need to always go back to if we are making progress. One is our infrastructure, and two is to make sure that we improve the talent that we have in our different school systems. So we have to look at pay as far as salaries, because that's how you recruit talent. So Josh is going to take on the task of giving you guys an update. I'm going to make a statement, and I'm going to truly be able to back it up with data, so that this board has done more as far as infrastructure than any other board that I can actually see, whether it be new construction, whether it be taking care of things that have been here for 30 years and we're renovating things, and you will just see a glimpse of what he is going to show you. And I just want to commend Josh and his leadership and everything that his team is doing to lead this charge, because again, parents are very much in tune to what facilities and what people are doing as far as taking care of their kids, and Josh and them are doing that now. I will tell you that There is going to be more that we'll be putting out as far as just renovations that will be coming out within the first 2 weeks, because we're trying to look at some before and after photos so people can actually see that we're taking out carpet, we're tearing out wallpaper, we're repainting, we're making sure that we're taking care of facilities like you would take care of your house. So again, Josh, thank you for that. Board members, I want to thank you for your support. These funds that we are utilizing is because of what you guys are doing at this table. Josh?
Members of the board, Mr. Touche, thank y'all. Would like to kind of give you a glimpse of all the things that you approved on budget and allocations and where they're at in the process. Some are ahead, some are behind, but we'll kind of give you a brief overview. I'll try to go through each slide fairly quickly. There is a lot. I have all this information for you. Anytime you need it, you all can call and I can give you some more specific details, but for the sake of time tonight, I'll try to go through things pretty quickly. We kind of have it broken down into several categories. The first one's the bonded projects. These are the big ones: Lafayette High, Acadiana High, Judy's Middle, and LJ Alamo Wings, and then the new Paul Bro Elementary Middle School. Lafayette High, as you'll see, each slide has somewhat of a picture of either the finished product, before and after, or before and during project, the contractor on the project, and the architect, and its status. So Lafayette High, we can finally say, is complete. I think we're doing final punch list walkthroughs, but for the most part, that school is complete, and I think we have a ribbon cutting here in the next week or two. Acadiana High School, we've done a new wing addition and also a lot of renovations on the inside of the building. Poche Pruitt and Fusion Architects, JB Mouton is the contractor. The designated or the target completion date on that is July 27th. As you see on the picture on the left is the pictures of some of the renovations. The picture on the right is the progress of the new wing in front of the school. The wing addition at Judy's Middle is the one that is the furthest along. This September will be move-in day. We'll kind of stagger it. Ms. Hovey, who is now on our team here in facilities, the former principal, has had a big hand in also prepping that move-in time. We also did some renovations that you'll see in the bottom right corner for the HVAC system and the flooring in the old wing as well. That's also added a vestibule, and you'll see that on our vestibule report. LJ Alamo new wing, that one's coming along pretty good too. Darren's done a good job with this. The navigation of summer school went on actually while this was going on. We demoed some portable buildings to have some more expansion. So a lot of people drive around right there. It's going to be a pretty project. It's well on its way. July 27 is its completion as well. Paul Bro Elementary Middle, not much is going on other than pad, but they're ready to really kick off pretty soon. December 27th and August 28th, and I can explain, I think y'all all understand how we're going to open that school up. If we need more details on that, we can give y'all that. Bara Architects and RH Architects and JB Moutons on that project as well. Rollover projects, guys, these are the ones that have been approved, were approved a long time ago. We've kind of cleaned all those things out, but some of these take a little while. So the maintenance warehouse, the Ridge Elementary car rider line, and the Southside Fieldhouse, those are the ones that are lingering that were approved a while back. The warehouse, we have to be out of the warehouse that we are renting from the airport right now in May. So December 26th is our completion date on that. That location is going to be behind where our maintenance facility currently is on Evangeline Thruway towards where Sunshine Equipment is, the best way I can explain it. That facility is coming along pretty good. It'll be a very big upgrade for those guys. The Ridge Elementary car rider line, this request was given to us by the Sheriff's Department. We needed to get cars off the road. So we extended the car rider line. It runs along the campus. Miss Rhonda Dickerson was there when we started planning it, and Donovan, the principal, has taken over that as well. That'll be complete in about a week. Southside Fieldhouse, this one was approved when the stadium and all that stuff was approved a couple years ago. December 2026 is the completion date on that. The project's moving along great. AQ Studios designed it. ARL Construction's done a great job. Rain has kind of delayed that project a little bit, but everybody on board is doing great. The next one is the capital improvement projects. These were all approved by you guys in October. So we wanted to kind of break it down. As you approved these things in October, to give you an update on where your project approvals are. So I'll just go through them all quick, but just an overview of all of them, and each one of them has a slide. The David Thibodeau Gym, we have had some trouble getting this thing off the ground. We, building contractor, the metal building provider, had to drop out in the middle of the project. So Tronhall Construction and Grace Studios have actually done an amazing job of keeping that project going to get to the point where they're just waiting on that building to show up. So they've done a really good job. January 27 is the completion date on that one. The wing addition at Broadmoor, of all the little wing additions that we did, the classroom pods, Broadmoor, Westside, Galette, and Milton, Broadmoor is the furthest along. As you see, they actually started groundwork, and this picture is about a week old. They've done a lot more since that. But you see a rendering of that on the right of what it plans to be. It's directly behind the last wing that was built. Lemoyne and Grace Studios have done a good job. It is a very, very, very difficult work site because of lack of room. Wing addition at Westside Elementary, same. They're on the same process as Milton. They're on the same contract. Lemoyne is on that one. Also with Fusion Pruitt is designing that one. The ground setup. The good thing about this is we haven't started much construction, but one of the requests we had with them was get the yard set up to where when principals are back, they can plan all the things they need to plan for their school year, knowing that that'll be taken away from them. So they all accommodated and they got that going. Ground should break on those within the next week. The wing addition at Ernest Galette, this was a publicly bid project. It was not CMAR'd. You see a rendering and the plans are done. We have bid that thing. We added a car rider line and canopy to it. If those things get approved, another request to get cars off the road in Youngsville, which was very much needed. So this accommodates that through a lot of land that they have. It's going to be a nice classroom addition. Once again, those three things are all to get rid of portable buildings. And academic activity building at Milton Elementary. You see the fence work is set up. They're ready to go. They've been doing some surveying. That facility will be done in July of 27. Just like all those other wings, the plan is to be August of 2028, all those buildings will be complete. The carpet wallpaper project, I have to hand it to everybody involved. And when I mean everybody involved, the principals, our construction, our partners in Tilden Bonin and Vermilion Architects, our maintenance crews. We started on this project in really December, and the principals were great with giving us a few classrooms to rip carpet out of. As we went, there was no way to get this thing done all in one summer. So we've been doing floors and paint in certain areas. But the next 4 schools, which is J. Wallace James, and you'll see on the left is a before picture. On the right is a during. Same thing for all of these. On the left is before. This is Ernest Galette. On the right is a during. We took all the carpet out of basically the entire school. There's not any carpet left anywhere in these facilities. We also painted. One thing you'll notice is the two-tone paint. The reason for that is Mrs. Touchette points out a lot when we go in these schools, you see the scuffed up and the fingerprints all over the wall. Little kids, right? They get in line, they touch the walls. Well, instead of adding an expensive tile, we just added a darker color. The principals seem to like it, and hopefully that'll hide and keep everything looking fresh. This is Austin Elementary. This was another one that was done. You see some before and after on that. And same thing at Live Oak with some before and after on that. So this was a big project, and when Ms. Touchette talks about improving the infrastructure, I mean, you could walk in those schools sometimes and smell that carpet. So this is really, really good. I think the teachers are excited. I know the principals are. The custodians are really excited, so that'll be good. Lafayette High baseball, softball fields, March 2027. I'll be honest, this one got delayed. The demo of S.J. Montgomery took longer than expected. So the baseball, softball contractor could not start until the demo of S.J. Montgomery was done. But it is underway. They have started some groundwork, and March 2027 is the hopeful completion of that. Lafayette Elementary, and talking about improving historical buildings, this one was huge. Guys, if you notice, I don't know if you passed one university, but if you ever look at Lafayette Elementary, that picture up at the top right doesn't do it justice. Those windows really make the school pop. I think it's very nice. You see the air conditioning unit on the left, the DOAS unit. That's to help balance the building. No more CO2 spikes, the smells are going to be gone. With all that, the windows sealed the building. You see some ductwork on the right. The floor, so it's not just the floor we did. We ripped out the old floor, put new base floor, and then they went underneath the building and spray foamed insulation to where the moisture stops rotting the floor. So MBSB and Manual Commercial have done a phenomenal job with getting this done. They did this in 2 months, which was unbelievable. We've actually moved back in. They can pretty much start school tomorrow. Lafayette High Stadium design fees. The design is stamped, planned, ready to go. So all that has to be done is funded, and then we can go to bid. Broussard Middle and Lafayette Elementary cooler replacements. Those are underway. Lafayette Elementary, we have to make some alternate plans just in case it's not done. I promised Ms. Cassidy it would be done, and I hope I didn't lie to her. Southside High parking lot addition. She's still my principal in my mind, so whenever I work with. Southside High parking lot addition. They're selling parking spots and tailgate packages. This is an old picture. The asphalt is actually supposed to be poured this week. Glenn Leger does amazing. They can make parking lots in their sleep. AQ Studios did a great job of designing it. We will have lighting in there as well for safety. And in the Youngsville Middle Gym floor, this came out really nice. The bleachers are delivered, and they will be installed this week. They will be, they'll have a brand new gym. We expanded the floor a little bit. All the colors were picked out by Jade, and everything looks great. We slipped this one in here. This was not approved on the capital list, but guys, we had a huge foundation problem. At Milton, we were losing that gym into the bayou, and Como Electric Services, who is a general contractor, and Zyla Architects did a great job of making a plan, putting it together to level that building out. That'll be done soon. The portable building update, I'll go through this real quick. You see, you can read it on your own, but December 2023, we had 207 portables, and if you go down after the completion of the construction at Acadiana High, Judy's, and LJ, you will have 43 portables left in the school. So you guys' narrative of, hey, get rid of the portable buildings, I think we've done a good job of that. Brett Wright has kind of manned that section for us. He does an amazing job. We either sell them or demo them, and he tracks it. It's been great. Those are the schools that are left. Deuce Elementary has 9, La Rosen 8, Leo 6, Wallace 4, Broussard Middle 4, and Myrtle 4. So we're getting down to the end. Vestibule construction, these are the last ones. Every school will have a secure vestibule once these are done. They are all on track to be finished before the students show up. So they'll be done, ready to go. Judy's and Burke, and this is just some during construction pictures. They have been moved along. MBSB did a great job. Chart did a great job of doing this. Dusson, Paulboro, and Live Oak. And then just to show you guys how we have to prepare for summer, Miss Hovey joined our team. Miss Ray Hovey, she was a former principal at Judy's. She's going to take off and run with the maintenance and the custodial aspect of things. So in order to make sure we went through all the schools, we had 3 different areas or 3 different ways that we got information about the schools. Our maintenance staff went to every restroom in the parish, walked every hall for electrical and lighting, and then did outside checks for everything. We made work orders for all of it, gave it to our maintenance crews, and then also the principals had their own list. So if you look at the start of summer, we had 355 work orders just off of this, and then 53 remaining as of July 23rd. So that's it. I know I talked fast, but I didn't want to keep you much longer. We appreciate you guys, everything. If you have any questions, feel free.
Yes, Mr. Latchley?
I don't have a question, Mr. Fontenot. Coach Fontenot.
Sorry.
I want to give you a thank you, because I'm sure you can look at Dr. Rabelais and you can look at Ms. Dickerson. For 10 years, I tried to not get anybody killed in front of Ridge with the idiots parking on the side of the road. And yes, I said that on live TV, because they were not smart enough to not park in the road. Personal friend almost got head-on collision twice. Miss Linda with Acadian Food Mart, twice. Axed. Thank you for making it happen. You just made our community just a little bit safe.
It should be done before school starts. Should be done this week.
Ms. LeBoux?
Yeah, thank you so much for the amazing work and the dedication. I know I've seen everybody working on ACs all summer and doing different things. I mean, it just never stops, so thank you so much. I did want to make 2 points, because people are getting misinformation from the internet, and I would encourage them to please contact your school board member if you have a question. There was a circulation of rumor that we were closing Lafayette Elementary School. People just mistook that since we had to board up the windows for a while. So I'm grateful to see the presentation so people can understand it's to improve. The second is there's a rumor circulating that we purchased property around Southside High School. If you're not familiar, under the Louisiana State Constitution, the entire state is broken up into townships and ranges. Under the Constitution, the 16th section, which is 640 acres of every township and range, is dedicated to the Lafayette Parish School Board. So we did not purchase property around Southside High School. We own 640 acres where Southside High School is located. We have now worked with economic development to try to get some economic development on that property so that the school board doesn't have to come to the taxpayers every time. We can actually generate our own revenue so that we can be self-funded. So kudos to the superintendent for being forward-thinking, and for us to finally use our property, not to make $80,000 a year on sugarcane leases, but instead to try to make 10, 20, 30, 40 times that so that we can be self-funded and give your kids the best education and have the best facilities, and we can self-fund all these projects. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. LeBeau. Do we have any other, Superintendent
Yeah,
Touche?
I'm going to leave you with one statement, and I think that Josh and his team has really made sure that this statement is never going to happen in Lafayette Parish. Deferred maintenance is borrowing from future students. When you defer maintenance, it is going to impact kids that are not here. So again, he has been very proactive. Again, I want to thank him, but I want to make sure that he knows that all of those team members that he has with him, please give, a thanks to all of them for their hard work. And again, guys, we're not finished, and there's more to come. There's more, and I'm just asking for you guys to have patience, and let's keep this ball rolling, because we've been rolling for the last 2 years.
And thank you all. There is a good group of people behind us that do a ton of work.
Thank you. Mr. Lejeune?
And Coach, I'd just like to thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You always
Thank
take
you all.
my calls,
Appreciate
and
it.
you always take care of my schools in District 1, so I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, moving along. Information item 2.2, informational item. Mr. Jeremy Aldago has requested an opportunity to address the board regarding board governance and public confidence. Mr. Aldago.
Thank you, Madam President. And I want to certainly start off by thanking the board for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight. My remarks are going to be as brief as I can make them. I've prepared it so I don't get off topic, and they're certainly going to be deliberate and sincere, but I want to make sure that board members understand that I'm not going to attack anyone personally. I want to address the responsibilities of the leadership of our board and the culture that we're creating, and certainly which trickles down to the confidence that the public places in us. Fellow board members, I would imagine, I would hope that we all know that a board president's primary duty is conducting an effective and fair meeting. I'm sad that unfortunately I believe our meetings have too often lacking the preparation, consistency, confidence, and fairness that the public should expect from our board. Every meeting is an opportunity to demonstrate that. Professionalism, impartiality, respect, especially to other board members. When that doesn't happen, the public confidence suffers. This leadership role as a board president is a role that should come from a place of responsibility, not authority. Becoming a board president doesn't create a higher ranking board member, it creates additional responsibilities. The office of a president should be approached with humility and responsibility and not a position of greater authority. Again, unfortunately, I believe this office for months has been exercised as though it carries additional authority rather than responsibility, whether examples, whether through mid-year committee changes that appear to be personally motivated or, independent vendor and project decisions made without meaningful collaboration with the cohort, or the excessive presence and approach at central office, which I have heard from many folks, has left many employees feeling that they need to walk on eggshells on a regular basis. The message being sent to me, board members, is not one of collaboration. What concerns me the most is the culture that we're creating here. We should never be publicly singled out or personally attacked. Sure, we're going to disagree. That's what we're here for. But personal attacks should never replace policy decisions. Frankly, the president should de-escalate conflict, not contribute to it or co-author it. At our last board meeting, you all will remember, I believe, in my opinion, the decorum expected of this board was not maintained. A vendor was allowed to sit up here and publicly attack me during a board meeting. Rather than restoring order and redirecting the discussion back to the board business, the president subsequently chose to participate in the allegations that are unfounded and unrelated to the board business we had before us. The president's comments unfairly questioned my integrity, and I cannot stand for it, fellow board members. Let me be very clear. Allegations suggesting that I have an inside deal relationship with any vendor are simply false, they're unsupported, and they're damaging, not just to me, but to this board. These fabricated allegations should never have become part of board discussion, and they certainly should not have been taken on a roadshow to the media, especially because of the reasons that they were fabricated. Look, none of us were elected to win arguments with one another, right? We're elected to prove education for the students of this district in Lafayette Parish, and I know we're not going to agree all the time. I don't expect that. That would be nonsense. If we all agreed all the time, 8 of us up here would be useless. But I think that every board member should expect to be treated fairly, respectfully, and professionally by everyone, and including the leadership. Because leadership is never going to be measured by the amount of authority someone exercises. It's measured by the trust you build. That said, fellow board members, I'm hopeful that each of you can agree with the following sentiment and in your own way express to our board president, Madam President, only you can decide how you wish to lead this board for the remainder of your term. I sincerely hope that you will reflect on the concerns shared tonight, as well as some concerns that have been shared with you privately by other board members, and choose a path to restore trust, help foster collaboration, and treat every board member with fairness and respect, no matter what your personal belief might be, and make sure our students become above our differences. Madam President, I want to personally apologize to you for not having or taking the time, whatever you want to call it, to respond to a text message that you sent me. You sent me a text message with a screenshot of a slide from a previous conference that we attended, and it was headlined something along the lines of, ways to prevent board conflict. I do appreciate you sending that to me. I know where it came from, and I appreciate it. I just wish that slide had been in front of both of us prior to last month's board meeting. Board members, Madam President, I do appreciate the opportunity to address what I believe are important issues and an important matter tonight, and I'm hopeful, and I believe that we can find success at the highest levels moving forward, and I would ask everyone's participation in this so that it becomes a better look for the public who we serve.
All right, thank you. Apology accepted. All right, we're moving on to litigation. Item 3.1, discussion and/or action concerning litigation in the matter of Cedric Handy versus Lafayette Parish School Board, docket number C 2022-5746E, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, and prospective litigation in Mr. Handy's workers' compensation claim. And then I'm going to go ahead and read 3.2. 3.2 to follow, discussion and/or action concerning prospective litigation in the matter of David Caesar relative to his workers' compensation claim. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I ask that the board move into executive session to discuss items 3.1 and 3.2.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bajon, seconded by Mr. Lachelet. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry. We have public comment. Is there any public comment concerning these items? Seeing none, do we have any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President, I ask that the board move back into regular session.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion by Bajeron, second by Watchley. We're back in session. I'll entertain a motion for recommendation.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the attorney's recommendation for items number 3.1 and 3.2.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. LeBou, second by Mr. Bajeron. All in favor? Oh, sorry. Public comment? No public comment. Do we have any board comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we're moving on to the consent agenda. Please ask that the item be pulled after I say it. All right, item 4.1, discussion and/or action concerning the acceptance of a grant agreement with the Pew Family Foundation totaling an estimated $3,100,000 to support the continuation and expansion of the Accelerating Campus Excellence Model at Dr. Raphael Barranco, J.W. Falk, Alice Boucher, and Paulboro Elementary and Middle through academic year 2028-29.
Pull it.
Thank you. All right, item 4.2, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed district discipline and discipline matrix/student code of conduct for the 2026-2027 student/parent handbook. Item 4.3, discussion and/or action allowing sixth graders to participate in middle school football. Item 4.4, discussion and/or action concerning elimination of the LPSS District Administrative Rule School Attendance Zone and Policy AD School Attendance Districts. Item 4.5, discussion and/or action to revisions to Policy BBC School Board Committees. Item 4.6, discussion and/or action concerning Policy File GBRIA Personal Leave. Item 4.7, discussion and/or action concerning revisions to the 2026-27 salary schedule. Item 4.8, discussion and/or action concerning the approval of 2026-27 personnel evaluation program. 4.9, 2026-27 LPSS teacher incentive pay plan.
Pull for discussion, please.
All right. 4.10, discussion and/or action for approval to amend the current HVAC service contract with Star Service. 4.11, discussion and/or action concerning adding Simpson Sports Engineering as an approved engineer and Gosson Architects to the approved list of engineers and architects for Lafayette Parish School System. Item 4.12, discussion and/or action concerning a drainage servitude agreement with the City of Lafayette for Westside Elementary. Item 4.13, discussion and/or action to use contingency funds for new project AHS gym audio equipment. Item 4.14, discussion and/or action concerning authorization to utilize the construction manager at risk delivery method for the construction of the new Ovacoma Workforce Innovation Academy, including issuance of a request for qualifications for construction manager at risk services and pre-construction budget. Item 4.15, Resolution 07-026-2181, preliminary approval of the issuance of bonds, 46 million sales tax revenue bonds and bond anticipation notes. Item 4.16, discussion and/or action concerning the July budget to actual revisions for fiscal year 25-26. 4.17, discussion and/or action concerning the July budget to actual revisions for fiscal year 26-27. Item 4.18, discussion and/or action concerning revisions to policy DIC inventories. 4.19, discussion and/or action concerning the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for fiscal year 2026. 4.20, discussion and/or action concerning the proposal, recommendation, and award for RFP number #05-27 fuel management systems for school district bus fleet. Item 4.21, discussion and/or action concerning the minutes of June 11th, 2026. And the last one, 4.22, approval of all action consent items.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve all items not pulled.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Lashley and a second by Mr. Bergeron. Do we have any public comment on items not pulled?
Hello, my name is Sarah Bennett. I'm going to speak on 4.4 first. It's really no secret as to why there's a proposal to completely eliminate the district administrative role. Not only did the public hearing provide us with the opportunity to correct much of the misinformation that we were hearing from the district and raise concerns that this would bring to the community, it also came with the opportunity for us to be able to provide you with alternative solutions. Many of those solutions were directly addressing concerns that you brought to the table. The answer we got was, it's too late now. Many of our concerns that have been raised have not been addressed. Rather, they are already being confirmed. The answer we had gotten then was, just trust us, it'll be fine. I have emailed all of you proposing the update of the district administrative rule to include a deadline at the beginning of the school year. MFP numbers are due to the state on October 1st. You could take the time to evaluate and propose the closure as an informational item by November 1st, announcing the first public hearing prior to November 1st. This would give the community time to digest and prepare alternative solutions throughout the year. This would provide the opportunity for town hall meetings and multiple public hearings and give the district and board time to review and consider all alternative solutions offered. It would give the district and the board time and the opportunity to address all of the concerns. If your argument is that the district administrative rule is unnecessary because there is already a policy in place, I would counter with, this policy is extremely vague and does not put a process in place, allowing the whole Como debacle to happen all over again. The issue was not the lawsuit, it was the lack of communication. I'm asking that you revise the policy to mimic the district administrative rule and add the listed changes. Let me remind you, closing Como and relocating the Career Center is not a victory. It's a loss for our children and our community. It is a step backwards in the progress that has been made to provide racial unity and equality. By eliminating this rule in its entirety, you are sending a clear message to the community. The closure of Como and relocation of the Career Center sent the message that you will do what you want, when you want, with no regard to the disastrous effects that it will have on the community. And further eliminating this rule sends the clear message that you do not care to hear what the community has to say. It's your own little way of telling us to shut up. 4.2, being that you just had the public hearing for the update to the new disciplinary matrix, can you confidently say that you have considered all of the feedback that the public has provided before making this decision? 4.13, I'm going to propose the same question that I did for the addition of green space for LJ Alamo. While I think it's great for the students to get all of the extra bells and whistles, why are we providing audio equipment for a gym at one school when we don't have the funds to care for several of the campuses in District 4 that are currently unsanitary and falling apart? And 4.14, while I have been commonly labeled as the girl fighting for Como, I would like to make it a point that I did not just fight for Como. I also fought for the Career Center expansion.
You can continue.
Thank you. In a place where it made the most sense, the current location. I'm going to ask you tonight to please consider evaluating the cost of the expansion and renovations to the current Career Center location, as the location is more centrally located for all of our LPSS high schools, as well as it having more room for expansion at its current location rather than Como's campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment? Yeah, if there are multiple comments, can you come up to the table if anyone else is going to speak after this person?
Let's see. Hi, I'm Suzanne Lagenet, and I want to speak on item verse 419. I'm publicly objecting to the submission of the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for the Louisiana Legislative Auditors as presented to the board tonight. Specifically the answers to questions 20, 27, and 28. Approving the submissions of this questionnaire to the LLA would be done in bad faith, knowing that there are discrepancies that have been brought forth in court litigations, formal complaints, and concerns with requests for investigations submitted to the Attorney General's office, the District Attorney's office, and Louisiana legislative auditors themselves. This should be reflected in the questionnaires on questions 20, 27, and 28. They should be further reviewed, corrected, and reported appropriately along with the documentation of such, including but not limited to all of the complaints filed, court documentation, as there was a full hearing before the 15th Judicial Court and some rulings with the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. In question 20, LPSS answered yes, that y'all have complied with all of the provisions of the open meeting laws. I respectfully request that this representation be reconsidered in light of the record during the audit period being reported on the questionnaire. Docket 2026-1673 shows litigation was filed alleging violations of open meeting laws, and during those proceedings, some members of this board and employees of the LPSS system took stand and admitted under oath to some violations. Whether it was willful disregard and/or ignorance of the law does not matter in the accurate reporting of these matters to the LLA. The litigation resulted in the school board conceding and also hosting a special meeting which they voted to rescind the prior votes, and later afforded the public the opportunity for a public hearing, adhering to open meeting laws, including revised statute 4215A, by not limiting public comments. Regardless if court action and complaints were filed is also irrelevant. I've sent the board communications about violations of other open meeting laws that we did not take action on, including the appointment of Mr. Davidson, when many members of this board voted before the candidates even spoke and before public comment was over. There were changes to agenda items of great substance less than 24 hours before meetings that the public was not privileged to until the time of the meeting. Many times, public comment has been limited despite citing of the law. The board's subsequent actions and official meeting minutes are a matter of public record, and they should be sent along with correction of this complaint. Additionally, complaints were submitted to both the Attorney General's office and 15th Judicial District Attorney's office. Given these questions, I do propose to LPSS how they could accurately represent to our board that it complied with provisions of the open meeting laws during this audit period. I again respectfully request that the board do not approve this document with known inaccurate statements, inaccurate answers, and require LPSS to reevaluate whether their representation is accurate under the circumstances and to determine whether the response should remain as is or be changed.
Thank you. That's enough. 3 minutes. Okay. Keep going. Okay, finish your sentence, please.
In regards to question 27 and 28, I'm also objecting this proposed yes to both of these responses.
Thank you.
I'm not finished. Public compensation paid to public employees
You're going to have
without
to wrap it up. It's been 3 minutes.
Louise, this is the whole complaint that we're talking about. 4215A does not allow you to limit public comment. This is the whole reason why y'all redid everything with Como.
Ma'am,
And then
you
y'all
have
did
3
not.
minutes here.
Public compensation paid to public employees without corresponding time and services being rendered implicates Article 7, Section 14 of Louisiana Constitution.
Ma'am, you're going to have to stop.
But you're once again violating open meeting laws.
We're not.
You are.
Ma'am, you have to sit down or you have to leave. That's your two options.
So y'all would rather have another, because this time I've sent y'all many violations where y'all have
Okay.
violated
Do you want
law.
another 20 seconds to finish what you have to say?
I'm sorry?
You have about 20 seconds to wrap it up.
Public funds constitute things of value, therefore employees' salary, employer-paid benefits, retirement contributions, employer payroll taxes, and other related expenditures are relevant if LPSS pay these amounts without corresponding services being rendered by employees. Louisiana Revised Statute 1781 establishes local public school boards are the policy-making authority, and policy GBRC was violated, which requires public school board employees and personnel to work all of the minimum number of days approved by the salary schedule. Even though y'all granted.
Thank you. This is not the item.
It is. This is directly what question 27 and 28 is. Are you not familiar with what's on your own agenda?
Ma'am, you've had your 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna file a complaint on this one.
All right, do we have any other public comment? Seeing none, do we have any board comment? Yes, Mr. Watchley.
Okay, let's address this one. Acadiana does not have an auditorium. Acadiana has one gym, and Acadiana has no working audio system in the gym, which is the gathering place when students have to be put somewheres to address them. Okay? Stop attacking Acadiana. Okay? This is to benefit the students. Okay? It's to benefit the students. 2, eliminating those policies. There is no state law governing it. From now on, we're going to eliminate policies that handcuff us when there are either no state laws or there's state laws already in place. We do not need duplication. Too much red tape, too much bureaucracy. So there you go on that. And your question on STAR, because I think you sent out an email, the addition is to make up for the lack of attention to maintenance and service over the last 10 to 15 years that they should not be responsible for. So that's what that's for, just so you know. But yeah, when you have no meeting place to meet with your kids and you have to do it in the gym, which is one of the reasons we air condition gyms, because we don't have an auditorium and we don't have 2 gyms. It's simply to be able to address the kids, because the one we have, I can look at Mr. Lejeune, Coach Davidson was there the longest. Heaven knows how old that thing is. I can talk louder than that PA system.
Look, I can help you out on that.
Go ahead.
It's never, that system has never worked.
Yeah,
We
well,
had to bring in speakers
Yep.
from other places to have anything. And I'll piggyback on what he said about that. Cafeteria is not big enough, no auditorium, and that is the one place where we do hold events. We hold all of our ceremonies at the end of the year, ring ceremonies, senior awards, undergraduate awards, now held in the gym because they did air conditioning for us. So without a speaker system, we don't have the ability to hold them, those events. So that is the reason that we want to have that new sound system in there. Thank you, Mr. Latchley, for letting me finish that.
Thank you for jumping in there, Coach. They seem to like to attack us a lot, but that's okay. We're tough.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other board comment? Oh, we're still in public. We already went to board comment. We're in board comment. All right, Kate. Ms. LeBeau?
I just want to, again, thank Mr. Mouton and everybody that has to put together these responses to the questionnaires under, was it 4.19? And in response, I just want to say there's nobody that has ever said that we have violated open meetings law. There was a case before the 15th JDC, open meetings law violations were never even discussed, never ruled on, nothing. The Third Circuit said we did not, we made an error of our policy, we cured it, which is allowed under the law, and that everything after we cured it did not matter. There's been only one person that has ever actually issued anything saying that anything about open meetings law, and that was the Attorney General, and they wrote a letter saying we did not violate open meetings law. That is the only person that has responded to anything, and they said that we did not do it. So I just want to clarify that there has been no ruling that this school board has violated open meetings law. We have followed the law, we have followed the policy. When we have it, we've immediately jumped in, cured it, fixed it, and moved forward, and that's what the Third Circuit told us that we did. So if anybody's questioning that, there's no ruling that can justify any claims of that. So any allegations to the contrary are false.
Thank you. Is there any other board comment on any items? Yes, Mr. Aldago.
Mr. Superintendent, item 4.4, I heard what Mr. Lachele responded about it. I can certainly see the perception. So can you please speak to item 4.4?
I would defer to the attorney, because everything that we looked at as far as what was requested, as far as the board member, as far as taking out things that were our policy, that we already had something at the state level, I'll let him kind of explain how we somewhat meet this matter as far as the law is concerned.
Before he does.
Okay.
So you don't have a, Your staff wasn't necessarily the driver of this recommendation?
This was something that was brought to us by the board.
Okay. If you don't mind, if Mr. Evan can.
So once we were asked to look at this agenda item, you have policy AD about school attendance districts, and it has certain things in there that, you know, the board would do in the event of certain changes. Nothing in that policy is required under state statute. It's just something Lafayette had in its policy, you know, surveying other districts in the area. It doesn't appear any other districts have anything that requires that as well. So essentially, policy, we are in agreement that the school attendance zone rule is not required. Nothing requires you to have policy AD as well, to the extent that there are certain things that we looked at in Bulletin 741 that you did have to have related to some of the subjects that that rule touched upon. You also have policies JBCC and JBCD, which also cover those topics. So, you know, after looking at it, no, we do think the board is within its authority to get rid of the administrative rule and policy AD and still be in compliance with state statute and DESI bulletins.
Okay, Mr. Batcheron.
Thank you. I guess this is for Evan. For 4.14, the Seymour item, are we following our current Seymour process, or do we have to follow the new state's new Seymour process they passed in the latest legislative session?
I know Jason Bonaventure with our office has been in conversation with your staff on it. I think the way things have been, the new version, yeah, that's my understanding, is that basically the things that, you know, the preparations that have been made in the event that the board would approve this is, you know, just as a matter of caution, go ahead and go under the new rule. Because the majority of the work that would fall under that project would, of course, occur after August 1st, which is when the new rule, the new law would go into effect.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, do I have any other board? Yes, Mr. Lejeune?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to speak on 4.3, allowing sixth graders to participate in football. Mr. Touchette, do you mind if I ask the athletic director to kind of expand on this? Coach Jeffers, would you like to talk a little bit about why it's important for us to get this implemented with sixth graders?
Yes, sir, certainly. You know, all of the parochial schools, the charter schools, those kids are having the opportunity to start participating in football earlier. You know, 5th, 6th grade team, 7th, 8th grade team, so on and so forth. The previous board took action October 7th, 2015 to let 6th graders play all sports with the exception of football. And so I think this is a good opportunity for, you know, us to create additional opportunities for kids, which is one of our core values. And so, you know, this gives them that chance.
Thank you, Coach. I agree. I think, and if a kid really is in the public school and wants to play football at the sixth grade, if they don't get that opportunity, they have options now. They can go private, they can go charter, they can get that opportunity. So let's just go ahead and make our playing field equal with the other schools in the parish.
Thank you. Do we have any other board comment? All right, we are moving to items that were pulled. I'm sorry. We're going to vote. Madam Secretary, I call for the vote.
Mr. Latolet,
Yes.
Ms. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. LeBeau,
Yes.
Ms. Trahan, Mr. Hidalgo,
Yes.
Mr. Bergeron,
Yes.
Mr. Edmond,
Yes.
Mr. Lejeune,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
9 for, none against.
Thank you. All right, now we're moving to the items that were pulled. All right, Mr. Edmond, you pulled 4.1.
Yes, Madam President. I would like to make a motion that the board approve the acceptance of the grant agreement with the Pew Family Foundation totaling an estimated $3.1 million to support the continuation and expansion of the ACE model at Dr. Barenko, J.W. Falk, Alice Boucher, Paulboro Elementary and Middle through the academic year 2028-2029.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Edmonds, second by Mr. Aldago. Madam Secretary, oh, sorry, we're going to public comment. Do we have any public comment? No? Do we have any board comment? Yes, Ms. Trahan.
I'd just like to take the opportunity to really state how appreciative the school district is for the Pew Foundation. Their dedication to equity for all students, especially those in our district that have not had such resources directed to their schools. So the ACES program has been phenomenal and just absolutely wonderful for transforming our schools. And we couldn't appreciate the Pew Foundation even more. And so I just want to really say thank you so much to you all. And I would like for everyone to just give them a real big round of applause.
I also want to thank the Pew Foundation for what basically what Ms. Amy said. Alice Boucher was the last one to go online with the ACE model. And just this year alone, Alice Boucher approved 2% on mastery on LEAP, improved numeracy by 39.8%, and improved student reading on grade level by 24.8%. So this system really works. And I want to really thank y'all from the bottom of my heart in District 3. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, Mr. Aldaga.
7 words. Thank you for all that you do.
Yes, Mr. Bergeron.
All right, Mr. Pugh, I remember when I was running for office, and you said, what's my goals for when I'm on the school board? And I said, I want every school in District 6 to be an A school, and you said, no, every school an A school. So we're going to continue to work on that, and we appreciate your partnership and the work you're doing with us.
Yes, Ms. LeBou.
You know that I've been so grateful every moment I've been on this board, every hard time y'all have been there. So thank you so much. You know, your mission is creating a better tomorrow through education, and you're doing that for early education, but you're also doing that at UL, and you're making impact in every level, and our community will be better for it. So thank you so much for the legacy that you're giving our students, and how much you're transforming our community every day through education. So thank you.
Anyone else? All right, thank you. Yes, would you like to come up?
Yeah, we actually have a little presentation for y'all. So
Thank you.
kind of a two-part presentation, actually. Good evening. Thank you for having us. I'm Todd Mouton. I'm the Executive Director of the Pugh Family Foundation. I'm here with Nick Pugh and Joanne Pugh, our co-founders, and Nick is our board chair. We just have a very short series of highlights to share with you all. We began our Accelerating Campus Excellence School Turnaround Partnership in earnest in late '23 and early '24. We are now about to enter our third year at Raphael Barranco Elementary and J.W. Falk Elementary, and our second year at Alice Boucher Elementary. Tonight, we're going to share a couple snapshots of the program's successes to date, and we are going to commemorate extending our partnership 2 years beyond our original 3-year commitment, and for the first time to middle school. ACE succeeds on the basis of fidelity to 5 pillars, and those are supported by additional dedicated per-pupil funding and resources from the school district and its philanthropic partners. We've traveled with LPSS and UL leaders to Fort Worth to visit thriving ACE campuses that are many years ahead of us in this process. And the 2 questions we've heard the most since we began researching the ACE framework are, does it work, and what happens in year 4? The answer to the first question has been provided by this elite team of 222 teachers and staff, serving about 1,120 students, and 3 campuses so far. And I've got to share sincere thanks with the central office team. You have some great leaders here on the board. Ms. Trahan has been incredible help to us in this process. Dr. Rabelais, Ginger Richard, John Mouton, Rhonda Dickerson, your academic specialists are all focused on this process. And some of the results we have are on this slide deck. as touched on, Barranco and Falk have realized 7% and 8% increases in the percent of students in grades 3 through 5 achieving mastery or above on LEAP. That represents about 50% more students on grade level on each campus. And as you can see, Boucher doubled the district average this year with 2% growth on LEAP. Kindergarten through second grade students are measured by a different set of literacy and numeracy screeners. And you can see, it's a little small, but you can see up there that across those grade bands, large groups of students moved to at or above grade level just in the last year, which mirrors the results from year 1. And you can see 25 to 35% of students reaching grade level, an additional 25 to 35% each year in the process. And we even have a little graphic here that you can see that the ACE campuses are leading in terms of student growth among LPSS K-8 schools with an extremely high percentage of economically disadvantaged students. So tonight, we are announcing a partnership that extends an additional 2 years, and ACE implementation will expand to include middle school students attending the new Paulbro pre-K through 8 school currently under construction. And that facility will, of course, also be the home for pre-K through 5 students currently attending Falk and Barranco. Our new agreement represents up to $3.1 million in new Pew Family Foundation funding, matched by $1.2 million in direct additional support from the Lafayette Parish School System. This $4.3 million joint commitment is projected to serve 1,440 students by the 28-29 school year. And our why is very simple. These great scholars and their families and their exemplary educators and leaders. So we have a very big check for y'all. Thank you very much. Do you want to say a few words first?
We need to do one thing. We do need to vote on this. And Mr. Nix needs to speak first. I think we could do a voice vote after this.
Well, look, I just want to point out that through the wisdom of this board, you know, we're making history out there. For the first time in decades, we got schools on the north end that are not on the bottom of the list. Actually, they're pretty close to the top. And I like your suggestion. Let's set a goal. Let's make those A schools. So tonight we're going to extend the program at least for 2 more years, and we want everybody to, you know, especially those guys on the north. It's their turn to at least start leading. We're here to help and help.
I think they got a vote.
Thank you. Can I do all in favor, or do we have to call the roll? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Okay, let's celebrate. right. We're moving on to item 4.9. Mr. Badgeron, you pulled this one?
Yes, I ask that the board approve the 2026-2027 LPSS teacher incentive pay plan with the change that incentive recipients must accrue no more than 10 days of absence for the school year as opposed to 7.
Second.
Second.
All right, I think we have a motion by Mr. Badgeron and a second by Ms. LeBoux. All right, do we have any public comment concerning this item? If there's more than one, please move up so we know that you're coming.
Julia Reed, President, Lafayette Parish Association of Educators, speaking in favor of the motion. We think it's important to leave it at 10. Lowering it, we question the underlying assumption behind lowering it. Teachers don't miss school for no reason. They only miss school when they must, because this is quite a lot of work to miss school as a teacher. There's preparation before, you're working at home, and then there's after. It's not simply, we don't feel like going to work. And so I just feel like there's not a need to do that, right? If people could not miss, they would. And then lowering it makes teachers feel less supported. We need to be able to take care of our families just as much as we need to be able to take care of our students. And so it's important that when the teacher feels that they need to stay home, that they're able to stay home, to take care of their parents, to take care of their children. And then on a personal note, I would just like to add, I have 2 students enrolled in Lafayette Parish School System, and I do want his teacher and her teacher to be able to stay home whenever they need to, because if they can't, then they are not fully present for my child. And I want a teacher who is fully present for my child every day. So in order to support in order to support students, you have to support teachers. So I very much would appreciate you voting to keep it at 10 and support our teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
My name's Elizabeth DeWitt, and I've been teaching for 34 years, 25 of them in Lafayette, and I'm kind of piggybacking up what she said. Thank you for keeping it at 10. And I did a little bit of research. 83% of teachers are women in Lafayette Parish, according to what I had found. And like she said, you know, we are really sharing those 10 days with our family because we still have traditional roles as the mother. And really the bottom line is who's going to stay home with a sick child? And it's probably going to be the one who makes less money, and typically men or the partner, depending on where, you know, who it is, you know, they make more money. So it falls naturally to us. And also, you know, I'm a little bit confused on this, and that is, I had cancer this year. Thank goodness it's over, 3 surgeries. Typical teacher, could you please schedule it around a holiday so I don't miss school? That any teacher would probably say that. We do not try to miss days. It's harder to miss than to come to school. But the point is that when we have situations like this, you don't feel good when you have other people, you know, maybe thinking they have to pick up your slack. And 1 in 8 women will have breast cancer. That's quite a few when you think about 83% of our teachers are women. And then it comes down to the point 2 is going to doctor's offices and having to put in 2 hours of sick leave to leave at the end of the day to go to the doctor. Yet I love my school, my job, my parish, my students. I was told about 2 days ago that I'm going to have to be a traveling teacher, and I need to go clean out my room. I'm doing it, but that's not really an hourly thing. You know, you see what I'm saying? You know, it's like, we're hourly when we have to put in our sick leave, but when a job comes upon us that needs to be done, we do it because we're teachers, and that's pretty much it. So thank you for making it 10, and we are an unusual population, being that a lot of us are women. Thank you.
Thank you. Have any other public comment? All right, seeing none, moving to board comment. Yes, Mr. Latchley.
I just have a question for staff, and I don't think I'm gonna be too nice about this. Why would you ask us to implement this and then turn around and redo it? How about when staff asks us to do something, or you put an agenda item and you ask for our support, and we give it to you, you don't come back the next year or the year after and want to change it? How about you do your due diligence, get it right, ask the board for support, we give it to you, and then we move on. But no, we bring it back, and we want to cut it for whatever reason. I don't care why you brought it back wanting to cut the days. I really don't give a, okay? Include what you want there. What I don't like is we approve it, and people have, and it is an incentive to come to work. I work in corporate America. I don't get a bonus for going to work. I get a bonus for productivity. But we put this out there. We were asked to support it, and we did. Now you bring it back. So now I got to get emails, I got to get phone calls, and I got to get all of this nonsense that you're putting on the board's back. And sometimes you get tired of it, and sometimes, frankly, it gets old. Okay? So in situations like this, I ask the superintendent and his staff that when you're going to bring something of this nature to the board and ask that we work with you and support it, we don't give you any kickback, we don't argue with you on the board floor, and we pass it, leave it alone. I'm going to say Groundhog Day again. We do it with dress code, we do it with anything and everything. Get it right the first time, bring it to the board, okay? I don't want to have to start micromanaging staff on agenda items to make sure it's done right, because we do have some micromanaging around here that I ain't happy about. Y'all can probably figure out what happened this week that I'm not happy about. But anyway, that's my take. If you're going to ask me to support something and I don't give you any kickback, any argument, any comment on it, and I support it, and it helps the people you want to help, which is our teachers, our students, so forth and so on, get it right the first time and leave it alone. So I guess y'all can tell which way I'm voting.
Yeah, Mr. Aldagos, before you, Ms. LeBoux.
Thank you. Well, first things first, Mr. Latchley, no matter the context, you should never use the word kickback on this board floor. Superintendent, I'd like you to address this, because I'll tell you, I thought it was a great thing that you guys brought to us last year on this incentive pay. It might not be unprecedented, but it's certainly out of the box for districts around us in this area. We were able to add much deserved positions to this incentive pay this year. And I believe that our educators, of course, deserve it. And I know that in your mind and in your heart, you want to continue to add to it. We had to start somewhere. But I just, if you can just let us know just a little bit why this was brought before us. I think you've explained it to me very well, but I'd just like it to be said. No, hey, right or wrong, agree or disagree, I think that all factors need to be considered. I'm for the motion. I just want you, I'd like you to have an opportunity to speak to it.
So board members, again, I support anything that you guys want. The reason for us looking at these particular numbers is that every year you guys pass a budget. And within the line item of teacher budget, as far as paying for subs, we went over budget $600,000 from last year. And all I was trying to do is say, hey, we got to make this more encouraging. We got to make sure that people understand that they have to come to work. And I was trying to move the 10 to the 7. Eventually it was the 5, and then we considered the 7. And it was because it's financially costing our district. So again, I understand, Mr. Latchley, I understand that, hey, we're bringing this back for a reason, and it was because this is an incentive. It goes well beyond. Again, I support our teachers. I want our teachers to know that this is not about, not giving them this 10 days. I need to be able to find some way to make sure that teachers are in front of kids as much as possible. If we have a substitute teacher in a classroom, learning is not happening. I don't care how good that teacher is. So again, this was purely finance. It says over $500,000 that we had to go find. So we'll have to use that money from somewhere else to be able to take on this. But again, I will support the board in whatever decision they make, and we will make this work.
Ms. LeBou, did you still have your comment?
Oh, I just wanted to correct Mr. Latchley. It is, it's also a performance bonus because they do have to get a certain level of growth in their classroom, which I 100% agree with, because in corporate America, you do get a performance bonus. So I just want to make sure that everybody knew that that was a two-parter. That's one is the absenteeism and the other half is the performance. So you have to have both factors in order to get it. So, but yeah, I'm the one that I think rallied for the 7 days, and I'm glad Mr. Bergeron called me today and said, teachers are extremely valued. It wasn't done in any manner other than, like you said, it's incumbent upon us to balance our budget, and when it's not balanced, we have to find a way to put it in balance. But I'm glad to see that the board is deciding that this isn't where we're going to balance it.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Lejeune.
Mr. Touchette, after we implemented this last year, like what percentage of teachers met the incentive for attendance?
Well, first of all, we don't have that data yet. Here's what we do have, is that first of all, in September, October, we'll start getting final scores and what our teachers have performed. A lot of this is based upon value added, making sure that their VAM scores are where it needs to be. All I know is that because we finished school on May 31st, we waited a whole month to make sure that we saw everyone who needed to be processed. And I am saying to you, before we even start with giving any type of money out, and they can have the 10 days. The rule that they're going to get money in September, October, they're going to have the 10 days. I was looking at a way to where we would not be spending, because I have to go find $600,000 to pay based upon the amount of days that teachers have actually missed. And again, they are very much warranted. And I'm not saying that everyone, but I will beg to differ to say that there are teachers that take advantage of this. There are people that take advantage. This is corporate world. People take advantage of this stuff. All I'm saying is, I don't think it's all, but we have people that do. And again, I want to make sure that we get kids and we make sure that teachers are in front of kids. If those kids at Alice Boucher, Barranco, and they're not there. Those teachers are not there. You're not going to see what those scores that you just mentioned. It's not going to happen. But the one thing that's happening at those schools, it's incentivized that they have to be at school. They have to be at school as far as performance is concerned. So again, I will support the board in whatever decision it makes, and we will make it work.
All right, thank you. Do we have, yes, Mr. Bergeron?
I'll go. So I agree to a little bit with what Britt said about getting it right. We knew we'd have to come back and make some changes to incentive pay, because we're still kind of figuring it out, right? I would take a step back a little bit more and ask, are we incentivizing the right things? Because I can tell you from experience, I had a safety manager, and he incentivized 0 incidents every 90 days. And what we found out was they would just stop reporting incidents. Incidents were still happening, but if you don't report them, they don't count. So I always question, and it may be a thing for us to have a deep dive discussion between now and the next time we make changes in incentive pay, which ones are actually working and which ones are we incentivizing the right way. Because we do want to make sure that there's better outcomes in classrooms. We do want to make sure that the environment in the classrooms are good and conducive for learning. But if you can show up to a classroom, but if you don't show up mentally there, does it still count, right? Are you still having that same classroom experience? So I go back and forth with it. Of what are we incentivizing and what are we doing for the right reasons? And can we take some of the money that we're already spending and put it into other incentives that actually drive outcomes and drive satisfaction and drive quality of life with educators, et cetera. So, of course, I'm in support of it. I put the motion in place. So I will ask my fellow board members, please support it. But we will go from here, and we will continue to make sure that we put more money in teachers' pockets.
Yes, Ms. Trahan.
Thank you. I just want to comment, piggyback on what you said, Ms. Reed, in regards to, you would want your children's teacher, as with any other teacher in front of students in the classroom, to be there 100%. We don't want them being there sick. We want them to feel like they can take that day off when they need to take that day off, and they don't have to show up and be sick. And we want to make certain that they know that, again, they are so valued. And so when we look at this type of, coming back to the table, looking at this policy, I think we have to do just a little bit more due diligence, look a little deeper dive into this. Since we just approved this policy relatively recently, this hasn't been a 5-year-long policy, and are many, many years. So I think we just have to, really as a board and as central office staff, just kind of maybe take a deeper look into this and not just pull the rug so quickly on this. And I would agree with you, Superintendent Touchette. There are always individuals that take advantage of things, but I always look at the glass half full. There are more individuals who would probably need this and don't take advantage of it. And so I think that's the place I'm coming from when I'm, being asked to vote on this. So, thank you.
Is there any other board comment? Yes, Mr. Lejeune again.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and say, when I was teaching, when I was an administrator, hell, I would have loved this rule. I never missed more than 4 or 5 days a year, so it would have been great. But unfortunately, I taught for 34 years and came to work and only got my paycheck. Didn't get the opportunity, so I'm gonna support the teachers because they don't get paid enough. I wish we could pay them enough, or we didn't have to pay them to come to work. So, like I told you this afternoon, Ms. Reed, I'm going to go ahead and support the rule.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other board comment? All right, seeing none, I call for the vote.
Ms. Trahan?
First, can you repeat the motion again?
Sure, I'll read it. That the board approve the 2026-27 LPSS Teacher Incentive Pay Plan with the change that the incentive recipients must accrue no more than 10 days of absences instead of 7.
Thank you. No.
Mr. Hidalgo?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr.
You
Lashley
wish.
is confused.
You wish.
Mr. Bergeron?
Yes.
Mr. Edmond?
Yes.
Mr. Lejeune?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. LeBeau?
Yes.
Ms. Mason?
Yes.
And Mr. Lachele?
You made me go last. Ms. Trahan would like to amend something before I vote.
Yes, my vote should have been yes.
Okay. All right.
My vote is yes.
9 for, none against.
All right, motion passes. I believe that was the last thing pulled. So this meeting is adjourned.